Alrighty, 11s, we are going to look at reflections. First, we're going to reflect through the x-axis. Let us say y equals negative e to the x. That means you flip the graph upside down, basically. Let us have a look at how it works. We are going to get this set of axes. X and y. The normal graph is basically like that. Y equals e to the x. Now it is negative. You get the exact height below the x-axis, which means your graph is now become like that. Basically reflection through the x. So let's copy this one. For example, here, if I had 1 comma e, that will be 1 comma negative e is my point on the graph now. Here on the intercept, it was 0 comma 1. Now it is 0 comma negative 1. Now what we can do is we can embed reflection with the translation, combining two transformations. First of all, we will look at the reflection through the y-axis as well. Are we all good? Could you give me a thumbs up, everyone? Great. Awesome. Let's move on to our next example. This is number 1 in reflecting through the x-axis. Let's have a look at reflecting through the y-axis. All what we have to do is swap all the x values to negative x values, positives, negatives to positives, positives to negatives, negatives to positive, which means I'm going to write down my e. Well, instead of x, I have negative x. That means I'm looking at a y height for this particular graph where you normally have on the negative value, which means all the values are swapped in terms of height. So it goes across horizontally. We're going to have a look at that right now. Let's sketch the graph with a set of axes. I have x here, y there. Now, normally my graph is through here. Like that. And I would have 1 comma e there. Now for that value goes to the left, which means my graph is going to be coming down from the top left to bottom right, getting closer to x-axis, but it does not cut. Okay, got to be pretty vigilant when you sketch that one. You are not going to go through the x-axis. Let's give it a go. So we're going to go here like that. So the sides being swapped, the value here now we can claim as basically at -1, the value is now e, the height. That means the value being reflected to the other side through the y-axis, and the values in here, they've been reflected to that side. These ones reflected to that side. For example, if I had here, let's say, same height here, -1, I had e to the -1. Now at 1, I would get e to the -1. I need to get this one nicely done with my scale, but you get the idea. At 1, now it's, well, hang on. At 1, it's e to the -1. Now at 1, e to the -1. The one that you had on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, the right-hand side ones are on the left. Do you all give me a thumbs up on understanding that, reflecting through the y-axis? Awesome.